Hey everybody, Zee Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at a small ladder climbing card game called Velonimo. In this game, you are going to have a hand of cards that represent your cyclists, and they are adorable animals, by the way, and you are going to be attempting to empty your hand of cards by playing sets onto the table stronger than the last player's sets. When you run out of cards, you're going to score some victory points. The next player to go out scores fewer than that, and so on. And then you play 5 hands of the game, with each one getting progressively higher scoring until the game is over, and then you see who's got the highest total. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what the cards look like, how the game plays out. I'll give you a couple of examples, and I'll see you back up here in just a little bit. The game's going to be played over 5 rounds, and at the end of each round, you are going to ideally score some victory points. As soon as you run out of cards, you are going to score a number of points that goes up each round, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. A number of points per player that still has cards. So for example, in the 3rd round, if this player right here is the first one to go out, they're going to get 3 points, and there are 2 players that are left, so times 2 for 6 victory points. You'll go ahead and write that down. And then the hand continues, with these 2 players continuing to try to get rid of all their cards in hand. And then if this player gets rid of theirs, they'll get 3 points. 3 times just 1 player who still has cards. The last player, of course, getting nothing at all. Then we'll shuffle up and go into the 4th round, okay? Where somebody's going to get 8, somebody's going to get 4. So there you go, that's the scoring. So to play the game, we are going to shuffle up the deck of cards. Everybody gets 11, and you are ready to begin. So let's say I am the start player here, and I'll just go ahead and show you some of the cards in my hand. So on my turn, I'm going to play some combination of cards to the table. And then the next player can either pass, not play something greater, or indeed play some cards and make sure that they are a higher value so that they are a legal play. This will continue around the table until both the other players, or everybody else but the player who last played, pass, and then the player whose set is still on the table at that point will set those cards aside, play a new set to the table. So what am I talking about here when I say sets? Well, you can play any single card. So I could play this card onto the table, and that's a strength of 6. I could play this one by itself, which is 25, and this is one of the hares. This card cannot be combined with other cards. But I can also play multiple cards at the same time. They have to, however, have the same number or the same suit. So if I, for example, play both of these cards together, the value for these is going to be 10 per card, plus the lowest of the played cards. In this case, 10, 23. So this is 23. And perhaps the next player then can play 25 on my 23, right? I can also, like I said, play multiple cards that are the same value. So I could, instead of that, I could play this. And this is 25. All right? So let's go ahead and give a sample hand here. I'm going to take a look at my hand, see what I've got going on, and I'm going to play simply a 2. That's my lead. And then this player is going to go, and they can play anything they want to. So I played a 2. They are going to play a 3. So they play a 3. And then it comes to this player here who is going to take a look at their hand, and they are going to say they're going to play all of these together. And these are 10, 20, 30, and this is the lowest, so 32. Comes back to me, I have to beat that 32. This card is now ignored. It was a previous play. So 32, I don't think I can or want to beat that, so I will pass. And then this player will go, they'll take a look at their hand, and they can play these 4 cards, like so, and say 47. This player will pass, I will pass, though I could have jumped back in. When you pass, you're not necessarily out. I could jump back in. But if we pass and pass, this player is going to win that. We will take all these cards, we will remove them, set them aside, and then they will lead a new set. One final thing I want to mention here is the ones. You'll notice that the ones, all of them have a little special symbol in the middle. So if this player plays a single one, let's say, and their total is 1, you are going to be allowed to take a card from someone else's hand randomly. So they might pluck a card from my hand, take a look at that card, and then give one back to that player. It can even be the same one if they don't like it. And you do that for every one you played. So if instead they played an 11, which is what that would be, a 21, not an 11, a 21, then they could take 2 cards. But they have to come from the same player. So you could take 2 of mine and then give me back any 2, including the same ones they took. This continues until, like I said, someone's fully out. And then we'll score up on the pad here. At the end of every round, whoever has the highest running total is going to get the carrot jersey here. And they're going to put that in front of themselves, and they can, during that upcoming round, they can add that to any set, not one of the hairs, which are these standalone cards, and give it a +10. So, for example, they could do both of these, and then add the +10, and instead of this being 24, it would be 34. That's all there is to it. Continue playing all 5 hands, and then at the end of those 5 hands, whoever has the highest total is the winner of the game. So that's the game. As you can see, it's an adorable little slight thing, not revolutionary by any means, right? But it's a fun one. It's one I enjoy playing, and it's one I enjoy having on hand. So let's go ahead and talk about it, shall we? We're going to start with the theme and the setting. The cycling theme is very neat. I haven't seen a lot of games that use that theme, so I enjoyed that. And then, of course, the anthropomorphic animals on top of that, even though they're really not. It's just straight up like a cow on a bicycle and a camel and whatnot. They're not really anthropomorphic. But anyway, the animals are very cute. The aesthetics, they're generally lovely. I like the box. I like the way the box looks. As you can see here, there's that pink stripe all the way around. And it's actually the inside of the box because this lid only comes down to there. And then you see that detail on the side. That's a neat touch. I like that box. So I like that. The artwork, I think, is, like I said, lovely, very cute, very well done. The card quality is decent. It's not the best card quality I've seen, but it's not bad. So no issues really with the aesthetics. The box is appropriately sized. It could be even smaller, but this is not a bad size for it. So no issues there. Replay value. This is good. It's got that good sort of classic card game vibe to it. I could see this becoming, the go-to after dinner game at your house where, after you've had an evening of settling down, maybe having some food, maybe taking it easy for a bit, somebody in the family says, "Hey, let's play the bicycle game." This has all the all the earmarkings of being like that kind of game you come back to, and it is relaxing in some ways. It is a little bit of an intense competition in other ways, but not too threatening. Very easy to get to the table, very welcoming. Again, the bicycle game, I could definitely see that becoming a thing for this one. So that's good. There's enough to keep you engaged in it, but not so much where it becomes daunting to pull out near the end of an evening and give it a whirl. The game arc is it's okay. The problem with it that I can see is that because you are playing 5 rounds and they progressively get higher and higher scoring, it makes the first round, certainly, maybe even the second round, feel meaningless. The number of points you are scoring for that first hand, for that second hand, are really going to pale in comparison to the final round. There's just so many more points in the 4th and especially the 5th round that playing the first one almost seems like a warm-up round that shouldn't really matter very much. And I don't tend to like that feeling in games. That a lot of games do this. It's not novel to this game, but it always makes the game feel Like, maybe you should have just cut out that first round and give me 3 rounds or something. First and second, let them go. So there is that. There is that little bit of a feeling to it. The ease of play is very good. The game has some neat ideas that it plays with, but again, not too many. I like the +1 thing. That's a little something to keep you engaged and keep you on your toes. If somebody throws one of those your way, you have to manage holding back a nice set to go out with and running the risk of someone tearing it up by stealing a card from it, right? But it's smooth, and I really like that the set creation in this game, a lot of ladder climbing games, have a lot of different things you can do. You can do a pair, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, whatever. Then you can do a run. Then you can do a full house, 3 of one kind, 2 of another. Then you can do this, you can do that. In this one, it's very smooth. You can play a single card, or you can play multiples if they're the same color or number. And as you saw, the scoring of that group is also very easy. If it's more than 1 card, 10 per plus the lowest. That's nice and smooth to internalize. I really like the way that works out. So no issues with the ease of play. And then lastly, tactics, luck, strategy. It's again okay. The main interesting little thing is just kind of finding your rhythm. Don't fall too far behind. Don't get too far ahead in the hand, or you'll have no power with which to respond. Knowing when to play the ones, that's a big part of it. But that Jersey card is my main sticking point here. It just seems odd. It just seems strange. The Jersey card gives you that +10 that you can add on to a set to make it worth 10 more points. And it goes to whoever is winning. And that seems strange to me, because, well, they're winning. So it's a weird one. I know that luck of the draw makes that card, maybe giving it to the player that is losing is too much of a boost to give the one who hasn't really done that well. But maybe they've just been drawing worse cards, And I don't know how I feel about that card. It just seems like a rich get richer kind of card. I wonder if simply leaving it out might have been a better idea, or allowing whoever is winning in the game to, or whoever's losing in the game gets to pluck 1 card from the winner at the beginning of the hand and then give them any 1 card back. That's it. That's your catch-up mechanism right there. They're drafting them. So I don't know. It's pretty strong. That +10 is no joke, and having it will certainly help you out. Does not guarantee you winning. I've certainly seen it not necessarily guarantee you winning a hand by having it. And it will move because of the way the round scoring goes. It just goes up and up and up. So if you have it early on in the game, it does not guarantee you'll keep it either. It's just a little bit of a sticking point, and it feels strange to me. Okay? So there you go. Velonimo, I always want to say Velomino, but it's not. It's Velonimo. Velonimo here is, like I said, a classic little card game. It feels that way anyway. It's brand new, but it feels that way. It has those kinds of emotions that come with it. Something casual, something easygoing and enjoyable, but something that isn't completely brainless. You need to be paying attention. You need to try to do well in order to do well. This is going to get a 6.5 out of 10 from me. I like it. I recommend it if you are a casual fan of ladder climbing games, or maybe are looking for a new one in that genre and that style of game, or one that's particularly cute. If you are a seasoned ladder climbing card game fan, I think this might be too simple for you. It's not going to be something that will innovate in the genre or the style of game, and perhaps will disappoint you quicker. Okay? So there you go, 6.5 from me, everybody. Thanks very much for checking this out. My name is Zee Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.